Welcome back. The details. Addressing the Cairo Summit for Peace held in the new administrative capital, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi declared that disintegrating the Palestinian cause without a just solution is beyond the realm of possibility. And in all cases, it will never happen at the expense of Egypt. Details.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi called for international protection of innocent civilians and warned of the dangerous humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip in attempts to force evacuation of Palestinians. President el-Sisi made the remarks during inauguration of Cairo's Summit for Peace, which kicked off on Saturday in the new administrative capital as part of Egypt's effort to support the Palestinian cause. Addressing the summit, the head of state said, "We are meeting in Cairo at the challenging time that tests our humanity before our interests and the depth of our faith in the value of human being and in his right to live. The principles we profess to support are also called into question and scrutinized in these difficult times." The president stressed that all the peoples of the whole world, not only the peoples of this region, are following with eyes wide open our stances at the historical moment. He highlighted that the summit also aims to address de-escalating the war in Gaza, pursue a ceasefire, and seek settlement of the long-standing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In his address, President el-Sisi said Egypt condemns in the clearest terms the targeting, killing, and intimidation of all peaceful civilians. At the same time, Egypt is expressing its deep shock that the world is standing by idly while the catastrophic humanitarian crisis unfolds. The president further mentioned that 2.5 million Palestinians in the Gaza Strip are being subjected to collective punishment. They are living under siege and facing starvation and ferocious pressure of forced displacement through practice condemned by the civilized world. The president asked, where are the values of human civilization, what we have established over long millennia and decades? He added that the inaugural address to the 2023 Cairo Summit for Peace that form the very first moment Egypt has engaged in unyielding and vigorous efforts day and night to coordinate and deliver humanitarian aid and relief to the besieged Palestinians in Gaza. President el-Sisi went on to say that Egypt has not closed the Rafah land crossing at any moment. However, the repeated Israeli sharing of the Palestinian side obstructed its operation. Amid the severity of the circumstances on the ground, he agreed with the American president to operate the crossing on a sustainable basis under the supervision of the United Nations, the UNRWA, and the Palestinian Red Crescent. President el-Sisi said the world must never condone the use of human suffering to force people into displacement. Egypt has affirmed and is reiterating its vehement rejection of the forced displacement of the Palestinians and their transfer to Egyptian lands in Sinai, as this will mark the last gasp in the liquidation of the Palestinian cause, shatter the dream of an independent Palestinian state, and squander the struggle of the Palestinian people and the Arab and Islamic peoples over the course of the Palestinian cause that has endured for 75 years. President el-Sisi explained he will be mistaken in his understanding of the nature of the Palestinian people whoever thinks that these proud, steadfast, and resilient people are willing to abandon their land. He stated it clearly and unequivocally to the world and articulate in sincere terms the will of all Egyptian people, every single Egyptian, that the liquidation of the Palestinian cause without a just solution is beyond the realm of possibility, and in all cases it will never happen at the expense of Egypt. He added, Egypt has paid a heavy price for peace to prevail in this region. The president went on to say we are encountering an unprecedented crisis that necessitates utmost attention to prevent the conflict from expanding in a manner that compromises the stability of the region and undermines international peace and security. President el-Sisi concluded with a sending message of hope to the peoples of the world that tomorrow will be better than today.
Addressing the summit, Jordan's King Abdullah II and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, along with other Arab top officials, condemned the ongoing Israeli bombing campaign underway in Gaza as an act of collective punishment and a war crime. Details.
Speaking at the Cairo Summit for Peace, Jordan's King Abdullah II denounced the global silence about Israel's attacks on the enclave and urged an even-handed approach to the Israeli-Palestinian dispute. He said the message the Arab world is hearing is that Palestinian lives matter less than Israeli ones, adding he was outraged and grieved by acts of violence waged against innocent civilians in Gaza, the West Bank, and Israel. The Jordanian monarch urged an immediate end to the war and the adoption of a unified position that indiscriminately condemns